Here we go. Haven't been on a live stream in probably like 2 years.
Okay, there we go. Now it says we're live. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh, there's so much lag. I've never been this far behind.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome everyone to Buckeye Mike. I am Buckeye Mike, and my wonderful friend Alex, who no harm, no foul, has chosen not to reveal his face to us.
Cause I am actually not in the age that that would be okay with. Cause
Understood.
as someone that's under 16, you'd think that'd be just kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know for how long, but we are going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and
Yes.
2023. And as always,
sorry about that. But possibly as AFC North roundables, what you said earlier.
Oh yes. Yes. As a Browns fan and a Steelers fan, butting heads.
Here in one. Oh boy. Okay.
All right. What is the fan base attitude on Mike Tomlin?
Fan base headed to Mike Tomlin? So far, our fan base towards him is in between good and almost a little bit of why is he still here? Because actually, someone that I know of who was also a Steelers fan was making an entire conversation on why he's still even here in the first place for some reason. And I kind of really don't get that. And he was mainly saying that because of our offensive problems, and I had to break it to him that it's not just Tomlin doing that, you know? But, I mean, throughout the rest of the fan base towards Mike Tomlin, I think it's basically pretty good, because Tomlin is a good coach overall. He really cares about his team. He really cares about trying to make sure this franchise is, seen around the entire NFL and make sure it's making good memories. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, this fan base has been sticking around with Tomlin ever since he joined. In what was it, 2007 that he joined? Yeah.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah, he was a D coordinator for I think Minnesota before he joined. Yeah, he was.
All right. And can the Steelers make the playoffs?
In my mind, yes. Believe it or not, I actually have them taking the 3rd seed in a division and still making it into the postseason as the 6th seed. I just have them barely sneaking it in there at 10-7. Because I really do believe, and now see, I know this would seem kind of biased to most people around the NFL, most people that would hate the Steelers. But I kind of do think this offense is actually really performing well. I mean, the first few days in training camp, this offense, they actually have been looking really well, especially with their receiving core. Their O-line's been picking it up, something that I would like to call the picket fence now. And I really think they're starting to develop that up more, and I think that offense can lead into something good. And then, the defense is also building itself up too. The D-line, of course, getting themselves, noticed out there. Cam Hayward, which could probably be in his final few seasons in the league. Watt coming off of a injury season basically last year. Mm-hmm. Our linebacker core kind of getting into the work a little bit. And I mean, we do have arguably one of the best safeties in the league, Minkah Fitzpatrick, on our squad too. So I think this team will just barely sneak it in there to the AFC postseason.
I do, as we get ready to kind of look at the schedule, I do, along the same lines, have Pittsburgh in roughly the same.
Okay.
Sure. This.
I actually have my playoff predictor things on here, so I could see which games I have them winning or not. and some of them are like probably going to be a little biased because like some of them are like upsets and stuff, you know. But that's just me. I like to make upsets most of the time.
So I think that Pittsburgh is actually going to end up either tying or being a game behind Cleveland.
Ooh.
But I have 11-6.
Okay. Just one game off of mine. That's actually still good.
So for me, the losses, I think in order to be a game ahead, I think Cleveland has to win both. It's kind of iffy to me if Cleveland wins the one in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, if this would have been a week ago, I would say Pittsburgh probably loses both to Cincinnati.
Yeah, but like since with Burrow like almost kind of being a little bit questionable now, like things could get off to a little bit of a rough start for them.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, before he got hurt, Cincinnati runs the division.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt that like their team would of course lead themselves to being kings of the North again.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's just how Zach Taylor and his team gets it done.
Oh yeah.
I'm still confused on how like he only had 6 wins in his first 2 seasons, and out of nowhere he makes this team like a Super Bowl contender. Like that's just it. I'm not saying I hate. Well, I do hate it, but like it's still actually pretty cool to see a team like that happen. I don't know. I'm just trying to make. I just don't want to be hated by a bunch of Bengals fans because I'm already hated by a bunch of them.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I'm always bringing up 2019 and the Super Bowls. You can't forget about that.
Living in the past.
Kind of.
But I mean, the only thing that helps Cincinnati, at least with Pittsburgh, is the fact that they played them in week 12 and 16. So as long as whatever Burrow's injury was, as long as it's not super bad, I'm sure it's possible that he could be back before both of those.
Yeah.
So
it's actually a very good way to put it.
So, okay, so if we look at the schedule itself, because my thought is Cleveland probably splits, Baltimore splits, and before Burrow got hurt, I was going to say Cincinnati sweeps.
Ooh.
But now I don't know because, let's see, week 1 is San Francisco at home.
Yes.
That could be tough. Could be a loss. I don't necessarily think it will. I do think it'd be close because San Francisco does play tough.
Yeah, San Francisco's a really tough squad to beat, especially because like their defense is also getting really good too. So that's going to be like a challenge for our offense, especially for our defense too, going up against, of course, Mr. Irrelevant, who just took the league by storm last year. And yeah, San Fran's a tough team to compete against. I mean, even though they're coming all the way across from the other side of the country, maybe that could put something on them a little bit.
So yeah, I could see some jet lag maybe.
Yeah.
Cleveland at home week 2, and it's a Monday night game.
Yeah, back-to-back years we have them in a primetime game in week 2.
Don't know about this one. I really want to say Cleveland, but
Of course I'm going to say my team in this victory here because, I mean, you know, almost when it comes down to these two teams nowadays, it's almost like anything can happen because, like, I know these teams do kind of go way back. I mean, like, even though when they did come back, like in 99, I think when they were gone for 2 years, like the rivalry started to go down a little bit because, like, you know, I'm not trying to say this to upset you, but like when Cleveland was just like absolute dog water,
Oh yeah.
It was just like not. It just wasn't really that fun to watch. But since like Cleveland's finally getting back up there since like 2020 came around, of course, and then like I mean they kind of did stumble down a little bit, but like now these two can actually make it seem like it's a good rivalry again, making it seem like the AFC North is the hood of the NFL.
Oh yeah. I mean it. I think Cleveland's rivals haven't been rivals since really Josh Gordon was playing for Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know. Baker seemed to make it come back, and I'm still upset over that whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, usually even when Cleveland plays any AFC North team, when it's in prime time, that's when it gets real.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when the hood of the NFL kicks in. When it comes down to the primetime games in the AFC North.
Yeah. Because I remember, was it last year, the year before, Cleveland played Baltimore on Monday night, and the game was really good.
Yeah, it was a good game. What year? What year was that? Last year?
Might have been last year or the year before, because I know Lamar Jackson left for a while, but then
Oh, that was 2020 when both teams I think had like 40 points, and then like Justin Tucker came away with that game winner.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in 2020.
Mm. So week 3, you finally leave Pittsburgh and go to Vegas.
Taking a trip to Vegas. I mean, I know they'll have. Oh shoot! I almost said Derek Carr. No, he's on the Saints. Shoot! Wait. Oh, I forgot who's their quarterback. Was it Jimmy G? I forgot.
Yeah, it's Jimmy G.
Yeah, I should have figured. Well, I hate the Raiders too, so that's why I didn't know that. So as usual, of course, hating the Raiders, I'm of course going to give us the victory there on that one, giving us a 2-0 start to the season because, well, I know this is so early in the predictions on the schedule, but I think we're going to get off to a good start this year, believe it or not. I really do. Even coming off of the week 1 loss, I think we may pull away with a win streak here, and you'll be surprised on like these couple 2-1s coming up, maybe.
I mean, so yeah, I can see 2-1 or 3-0 at this point.
Yeah.
I would lean 3-0, honestly.
Depending how San Francisco plays.
Yeah, especially. All right, and then week 4 on the road.
Going to the Texans. I'm sorry, but there's just no doubt Houston, even with their rookie, they're not pulling that out against us. Mm-mm.
I mean, it'd be hilarious if he at least makes it close.
Well, if they do somehow manage to come in a final score in their hands, that's when things are going to get crazy for me a little bit. But for right now, of course, I'm going to get them off to a 3-1 start.
Yeah, as much as I like CJ, I just think his career's already dead because I don't think Houston's going to do him any favors.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think Pittsburgh's got a 3-1 start. And then week 5, you finally come back home against Baltimore.
And that's where I get him off to a 4-1 start in a classic 1 o'clock rivalry match. Shouldn't be a 1 o'clock game. I swear, when it's the Steelers and Ravens, they should never play in the daylight. They should always play under the lights. I just don't know what's wrong with Roger Goodell and his schedule makers there. Like, what are they thinking? Like, come on, man. You can't be doing this to us. It doesn't matter. At least we're going to hopefully beat them. I mean, because, like, I know Zach in our football server is a Ravens fan. So that's a game to also watch for between me and him. And I actually do have us getting that 4-1 start. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to predict Chris Boswell getting us a 13-point comeback with a game-winning field goal on the final seconds, taking that game.
Wow.
I just like to get into these predictions. It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's like super specific.
Yeah. I like being specific about most things. I know most of them don't happen because they're like almost a 50% chance of happening, but it's worth a shot.
Um, then week 6 you got to bye.
Man, back to the under week 9 buys again
Ugh.
for a fifth straight season, man. Come on.
And then week 7 you head out to the bright lights and you take on the LA Rams.
I'm actually going to take us in a 5-1 start on the season on that win because I don't think the Rams. Zach, go Alex, woohoo! But yeah, I really don't think the Rams have it have it anymore like how they used to. Because of course, coming off of their Super Bowl win, they only ended up getting like 5 wins the next season. Of course, it's from injuries, and they're gonna be they're gonna change a lot with those guys coming back from last year. But like, I really do think we're gonna pull off and like possibly an upset right here. Depending on what the Rams squad looks like, which I kind of really also have no idea. But like, I do think we could probably come away with an upset right there, starting 5-1.
Ooh.
Zach. Hey, you know what, Zach? To make it fair, I have us splitting the series between us two. I'm gonna spoil that a little bit.
So you have them losing in week 18?
Yeah, I do. But you're gonna like my first round playoff game though. You're gonna like that one that I have because I did a whole NFL predictions thing on Playoff Predictor, so I kind of
Oh,
have the whole thing planned out.
nice. So week 8 you come back home for a 3-game skid. You play Jacksonville in week 8.
Oh, some Steelers fans are actually gonna hate me for this one because I actually do think Trevor Lawrence and his Jaguars squad can find a way to beat us and end our 5-game winning streak in a unbelievable contest on the field for that game. Because I think the Jaguars actually may have it this year, believe it or not. Even though they came away with a mid-season turnaround last year, I think they'll actually have a lot of momentum starting off the 2023 season and finding a way to beat a couple teams in the league that they got on their schedule, including my Pittsburgh team, which actually to me is pretty heartbreaking to say.
So week 9 you play Tennessee at home.
Um, I mean that could be a tough matchup for like a little bit of our defense, but I mean like the Titans, the 2021 season when we beat them, I was at that game, but like I really think we deserved that victory in 2021, and I think we deserve it again in 2023 to make us 6-2 on the season. You know what? That's actually not a bad prediction by Zach. That's actually really not bad. Just one win off of mine, but yeah, I think we'll find a way to beat Tennessee as well, um, to get ourselves at 6-2.
So I have you with one loss up to this point. I think the Jacksonville game will be close, but I think that infamous small-handed white boy up there, Kenny Pickett,
Fine, bro.
is gonna find a way to win that game. My next loss comes right here in week 10.
Mine too, in a upset game. I know the Packers probably are gonna go down in some power rankings like a lot this season, mostly because A-Rod's gone. Their team is like slowly just getting worse. Of course, with Jordan Love like getting his first like actual start in the season, like to probably play a whole year, depending if he gets hurt. But like he may find a way to get some tricks up his sleeve and like put him into the field of play on for some wins for his Packers team. And one of them will be in Lambeau, not Lambeau, and I'm here in Pittsburgh.
I mean, at this point, by week 10, we're going to see that Jordan Love is not it. Your starter for Green Bay is either going to be Alex McGoat or it's going to be Sean Clifford. Now, Sean Clifford is still a rookie, and Alex McGoat is a rookie. But depending on Sean's progress, I would assume that Mr. McGoat is going to step in here, and that's what I'm counting on. Plus, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So I'm also counting on that.
All right.
All right. So week 11. I get my revenge, and now I'm going to punch you in the face. Not literally.
I'm also going to punch you in the face. Not literally. I really don't think we're going to lose to the Browns this year. I'm sorry. I just don't see it because, I mean, as much as I hate them, I know that we've lost to them like for the past few years in the regular season. I don't think it'll happen this year. We'll finally get what Pittsburgh should be doing to Cleveland in the first place. Of course, burying them 6 feet under. And what did I have them put them at here? Yeah, I think that would put us at 7-3 on the season. Ooh.
So I have a Cleveland win, which would also put you at 7-3.
Okay. And
so, then you go to Cincinnati.
Yeah. I know Burrow is probably going to be coming back from injury in this game, most likely. I do think he's going to find a way to beat us again at his home turf. Of course, with Chase being one of his star receivers, his defense is starting to catch up. His O-line's actually starting to build up a little bit more if someone's been paying attention to that. Might be a little bit of a tough day for our team there and take a loss there to put us at 7-4.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of would be hopefully Joe Burrow is back a few weeks before that to kind of get into the groove, and it just depends on his timing. But it is in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is becoming the arrowhead of the East Coast, so
yeah,
I would give the away game to Cincinnati.
Okay.
So week 13, Arizona at home.
Arizona, I don't really see us having too much trouble against them.
Yeah.
I mean, some things may go wrong against them, but not too many things go wrong. Because, I mean, like, for some reason our team just likes to do some stupid things. Like, of course, Matt Canada is going to do some. But, like, that may happen for all the other games I say we'll win against. But, my parents are finally home. Yeah, but I think we're going to get this win over the Cards.
And then week 14, you're at home against New England.
Actually, I have us losing that game against the Pats. Oh, Jesus. I got to move my computer for a second. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
You'll still hear me, though. Like, I'm not going to be away from the camera. My camera's not on. But, yeah, I do have us taking the L against New England. And I think that would put us at 8-5. Yes, 8-5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then week 15, you go back on the road against Indiana, and up to this point, I would say Arizona is a win, New England is a win, Indiana is a win.
That's what I'm saying. I'm taking us for a win over the Colts too. Heading back to Indianapolis, Pickett's finna do his thing, like how he kind of did last year, and we're just gonna do our thing over in the Colts field. Take down this rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson, depending if he's going to be starting. He most likely will.
By then, I would assume he will. And then week 16, you have the Bengals at home. I think this is the game that the Bengals end up losing to you guys.
That's what I'm saying too. And I'm gonna say we're gonna split the series against them.
That's honestly what I'm thinking. I mean, again, it just depends on Joe's health, if he's even going to play this season. If he doesn't, I do think it's probably 12-5 for Pittsburgh, because I don't see Pittsburgh dropping to Cincinnati if Joe Burrow doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean, I do see us having to go 10-5 now, putting us at the double-digit win mark for the first time since 2020. About time, Steelers. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that'll put us at our 10th win of the season.
And then week 17, you play at Seattle. That's an absolute L.
Yes, right there. I don't really see us getting a win over the Hawks right there. I would say so if they were like the same in 2021 a little bit, but since now they're starting to get back up there again, I don't think it'll happen. I also have us. I actually have us losing the final 2 weeks in the season, which puts us at 10-7, just barely sneaking in the postseason.
Wow. Steelers beating Bengals.
Yes.
Sadly. Of course Joe plays. Well, he's injured right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility he may not be in that game. Either one of those games he may not be. Like, you never know. He could even have a late season injury too.
That is true. I mean, he is a lot like LeBron, where, body is a temple, but some bias. I mean, he is the Pittsburgh guy. I am the Browns fan. I mean, I root for Cincinnati.
What Browns fan would have the Steelers making the playoffs? Like, just be honest. Who would do that as a Browns fan?
Me, I guess.
Besides you, but like, you wouldn't see any other typical Browns fan. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. All right, we are back. Sorry about that.
All good. So, you were saying about Browns fans having Pittsburgh make the playoffs?
You don't usually see any Browns fans having the Steelers make the playoffs at all. Because, like, the hatred between those two teams, like, fan base wise, is like real.
And, yeah.
Like, of course, you wouldn't see a Steelers fan saying that the Browns would make the playoffs. Sadly for you, I am one of them.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm gonna say it again. You wouldn't see every day.
Yeah, it's a shocker. I mean, doing this even as a hobby, it's kind of gotten me to be not so biased.
Yes. I don't know about you guys this year. I think you guys are a little bit overhyped.
I think so. I mean, Jared Goff is not the guy.
I don't think so either. Buddy, let's not bring up your guys' playoff record here, please. Let's not remember. Well, actually, let's remember real quick here. This is going to sound really dark. Yeah. I'm sorry, but JFK has only been around for one Detroit Lions playoff win in the past 60 years. At least in, like, that I remember seeing. I remember someone saying about something about it on Instagram, saying that like the past 60 years, well, I think it was after he died, that the Detroit Lions only had one playoff win.
Oh my God.
Gosh, yes. Oh no, we got ourselves a Lions fan going at it.
History don't matter.
Actually, it kind of does. What is this? It's just two guys that are fans of the AFC North teams just trying to have fun. I don't know about you, buddy, but you're an NFC North fan. We're a new franchise. Hold on, wait a second. I don't remember you guys being born in the late 2010s. I thought you guys were born in like 1932 as the Portsmouth Spartans. Come on, man.
That old team is gone.
Oh boy, now we're starting to talk about the Lions. You deleted. Hold on, you own the Lions now? Oh my God, you own the Lions now? We call it the Detroit Lions now. My guy, if you look at Dan Campbell's road record, look at his road record too. Look at his complete record by itself. How many games did it take for him to win his first as a head coach?
It took him a while.
It took him 12 freaking games. Rah. My God, man, we get it. You're a Lions fan. Yes, I did say Spartans. Because I know a little bit too much of NFL history, man. The Lions were called the Portsmouth Spartans back then. And then they later on moved to Detroit. I think in like a few years after the Spartans were formed. Yeah, I'm like a kind of an NFL team history geek, not like player history geek, like their stats and everything. I'm like all about the team and stuff. Like how the Steelers used to be called the Pirates.
I didn't even know that.
Dude, like literally, even the Penguins were – no, not the Penguins. There was another hockey team called the Pirates too. They were around the same year as the Pirates were for football. Just how confusing would that be if we were in that era?
Oh, absolutely confusing.
It just thank God they had different logos too. Because actually the Pittsburgh Pirates team, what's my college team? Of course I'm going with Pitt. I'm all Pitt over here.
Yeah, he is an all Pitt guy. I'm ignoring your college football talk because this is an NFL stream. I mean,
oh God, no. Michigan State.
That would be like talking about the Cleveland Browns. We already did that.
I mean, I'm not too much on college football, but I do like to watch some good games in it. At least when their atmosphere is good. Because, like, I was at the Backyard Brawl game. That atmosphere was amazing. The one for last year, Pitt and West Virginia. You know how we get.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Pittsburgh and Baltimore in the NFL. But, yeah, I've been to a few Pitt games. Not a few. I was actually at 2 Pitt games last year. That Backyard Brawl one and then the one versus Duke, our senior home game. But I'm trying to get to some more this year because I actually didn't start watching so much of college football till 2021 because, I mean, I didn't actually start watching the NFL till I was like about 10. Like, that was back in like 2019, I'm pretty sure. So I was in the late stages of the NFL back then in its 100th season. So things are – it is just a little bit of a long story. It didn't take me too long to learn things, though.
I figured not. So who do you have them playing in the playoffs, and how far do they go?
You mean the Steelers?
Yep.
I actually have us as the 6th seed going up against the 3-seeded Baltimore Ravens in the first round. Back-to-back weeks we play Baltimore. And now this one's going to be a shocker. Zach is going to kill me for this one. But I actually do have us managing to sneak away with a first-round victory over Baltimore there because Me with these upsets against our rival teams. That's just how I am. I like to make up upsets. And speaking of upsets, my computer is for some reason being stupid. 45-23.
Yeah, just ignore that.
Gosh.
Ohio State, Michigan. That's obviously a Michigan fan.
Yeah.
So you said you have them.
Yeah, with a first round victory. Over Baltimore as the 6th seed. I just think our team is going to be able to find a way to do it, even though as a low seed here. Oh, shut up! I don't care if my PC's low battery. My God, you're at 20%. Oh my God, this computer sometimes can be dumb. Anyways, but in the second round, I don't think we're going to surpass like any of the teams. I actually do have us playing the Buffalo Bills in the second round, and of course, that's where our season's sadly going to come to an end there, because there's just no way. Kind of a team like us, like me saying that we can make upsets, but just definitely not against Buffalo.
Yeah, I think your contenders, at least out of the AFC, are going to be. I hope Kansas City falls off the face of the earth, but Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and
that's kind of basically it right there.
Yeah, and then the NFC is just kind of wide open. Honestly,
yeah, the NFC is not like how it used to be anymore. Where it used to surpass the AFC back then, like it was nothing.
Yeah, it's like when people want to watch playoff contention football, they tune towards the AFC because it's like it's so crammed of like, okay, who's
winning this game? Who's going to make the upsets? Whatnot.
Yep.
Who's going to break a record?
I know it is. But you guys can't even make the flipping playoffs.
Let alone win a game in the postseason. So I think you need to calm down on that, buddy. Just calm down before the NFL police arrest you from the fan base. Let it go, buddy. Let it go like you're watching the movie Frozen. Come on, man. Oh, God. No. How about yes? Stop being Darth Vader. No. Oh my God, this is just what is this turned into?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't think this would happen.
I wasn't expecting this to happen. As far as me for the playoffs, I mean, yeah, I could probably see if Baltimore is sadly the third team to get in out of the North. I do think Pittsburgh probably ends up in the same spot and does beat them in the playoff, and then it just depends on who they play in the second round.
Yes, it really does. It's always the second round that would always get a little bit more a little bit more hyped. I mean, I know the first round can be a little bit hyped for the AFC side of things in the league, but of course, when it comes on like the second round and the conference championship games, things get so hyped. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the divisional round, it's going to be most likely depending on Burrow's health, it's going to be the 3 top tier AFC teams and a Cinderella team, and that's likely to be the Steelers at this point.
Yeah, without a doubt.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up. So thanks for coming on, and maybe we'll have you back on at some point.
I mean, thanks for having me for this stream. I mean, it was really amazing to be able to get to talk to somebody about like this, of course, the Steelers, because I don't get to really talk about my team much besides talking around with my family a lot. Mostly some are like other Steelers fans, but I've never really talked to another NFL team fan about the Steelers, like honestly, and not having to get into a who's biased and who's the better team argument. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how most fan bases are nowadays. They
Yeah.
just hate each other. It's funny, but it's also disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the way some fan bases treat others.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Thanks for all 4 on YouTube for tuning in, and like I said, hopefully Pittsburgh does good enough that we can have you back on for postseason, and we will see everybody next time.
Alrighty then.